to our session. Let's master the jump into mixed reality. We do the session together with Zaid. And but we will introduce us in a second, and then you learn more why you should jump, what it actually is. But first the introduction round. So my name is Christian Glessner. I am the founder and CEO of HoloLux. We accompany vibrant brands worldwide on their journey into the metaverse. It's still not there, the metaverse, but we help them to find their way there. And so I started super early with IT already as a child. I'm from Germany, and my parents had a travel agency. And and somehow as a child, I grew up between computers. They had already, when I was a young child, they had already AS400s from, not sure if you know that, from IBM, and this amber sparkling screens, and then always the cursor ready. The tabula rasa, that means to create something completely new from scratch. That was always what I think is fascinating about IT and software development, to just be able to create new things. And with all their technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, metaverse technologies, however you call it, my childhood dreams came much closer, because now I literally can really build virtual worlds and people meet there, create there, and you will learn more about that topic in a second. Now I hand over to the introduction to my colleague Zaid.
Hey guys, so it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Kazim, for putting together this incredible initiative here. I'm Zaid. I am a mixed reality catalyst at HoloLux. So as a catalyst, basically we share with the community, with our clients and customer, our mission and vision about mixed reality, and what cool stuff we do in the metaverse. So I'm the guy at HoloLux who goes to the community, goes to the people, and share and preach basically everything around the mixed reality and metaverse. So I don't know if you probably saw a lot of our events that we have been doing, most likely in Altspace. We were luckily, now that the COVID situation got less challenging, we started going around the world and presenting mixed reality. We were 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago, I think, in the UAE, in Dubai, supporting Microsoft at GITEX Global, launching mixed reality and HoloLens in the Middle East and Africa region. So this is things I do. So probably one of the coolest jobs in the tech space. I'm also a Microsoft MVP, so that's why I call Christian and Kazim. When we do activities together, these are my partner in crimes. So we do a lot of cool stuff with the community. And again, I can't be more happier to be here today. And thanks again, Kazim, for initiating this incredible tech summit in Lagos.
Yeah, and internally we call Zaid, by the way, mixed reality cheerleader. 1, 2, mixed reality, 3, 4, HoloLens.
Exactly.
He's our expert for cheering up and making the community exciting. So the first question might be, why jump into mixed reality at all? And maybe because I'm not sure, maybe some of you are new in the topic, and I think Zaid also, maybe short, it's something he always liked to tell. Maybe tell the people in 1 or 2 sentences what actually mixed reality is.
What is actually mixed reality? So there are thousands of definitions, hundreds of definitions that you can actually find in the internet. But in a nutshell, mixed reality means to integrate digital content into the physical world. In contrast to augmented reality, with augmented reality, you only overlay the digital content into the physical world, but with mixed reality, you integrate these in your environment. So throughout the presentation, the talk, we will be talking more about this in a bit.
Yeah, so as I said, the first question is why you should jump into this technology. And recently there came a new term and that's the metaverse. And I just try here. It's in one thing here at that point is there is a lot of discussions about that word. What is it actually? And recently, everything is the metaverse. I heard Fortnite is metaverse, Minecraft, somehow everything get the term metaverse. But it's actually something that is not really there now. It's a state in the future somehow. Where everything gets 3D. So the thing everybody agrees on, it means kind of the next evolution of the internet. And it means the internet gets 3D and very important, immersive. It has to be immersive. You have to really have the feeling to be there. And when you ever try virtual reality, and I think Kasim has some devices here from us, and so you can try this. You're really immersed. You really feel that you are there. It's real for your brain. And this is the big step forward, and this is empowered. We built the metaverse actually with mixed reality. That's the technology that we use. Imagine you all maybe web development. We built the World Wide Web. We built that with HTML and JavaScript. And mixed reality is the technology we use to build a metaverse. And there are some other technologies that you know around. There's something like Web3. That stuff's coming more from the blockchain, NFT, owning things decentral. We have virtual worlds. That's what we can build very well with mixed reality. And then a thing that many people also do not see, which is also part of that metaverse cake, is AI, because AI, it's now not very natural to interact with the AI in a 2D technology. I'm not a big fan to say, hey, Siri to some phone, or it does not feel natural. And in the future with that technologies like mixed reality, you can give AI a face. We can give it emotions. And this is a big step forward also for AI. So the metaverse is something that we will build, and that is a state that, I don't know, in 10 years maybe it will be there, and mixed reality is the technology. And there's a lot of hype about it. Also, there are a lot of studies about how much the market value of it. And the older one is here from Bloomberg, and that's from, they say it will be around 800 billion. Then there was recently one from JP Morgan. They said it was 1 trillion. And I'm just coming back from Singapore, the fintech, and we had also their customer Citibank, and they even say it will be 13 trillions market volume. And when you see that numbers, you get a feeling how much impact this technology will have in the future. It will be kind of a foundation, crown technology. So, but it's, there on the way to this, there are some things that you have to face when you want to do that. And when you see, for example, building a 2D website, it's still for some developers really hard to build a good-looking 2D website. Imagine also in the 90s when people start to build the first websites, very blinking, and very colorful. They didn't look great, and it's even these days it's not so easy to build a good user experience for just a normal website. And now imagine you have one dimension more, you have 3 dimensions, and then you have also to care about depth, what you do not have to do when you use a 2D things, or it's much more complex to build this. So this is something you have to face when you start with 3D development. And then many people, when they imagine how to build a 3D user interface, for example, they know that movie. Very famous, and it was the first in Hollywood when you see this AR mixed reality user interface. So I think I hope everybody know that it's a Minority Report when Tom Cruise used that things, and it's many people remember that. And when you see that, it looks all really cool in the movie, and jump. But I tell you, do this 15 minutes in the HoloLens or anything, and you think, wow, that hurts. It looks super cool in that video, but from the ergonomic perspective, it's absolutely non-usable because you get strain here on your shoulders. It's not good. When we see over years, I use, for example, here such a trackpad to to relax my my wrist more, and I just use the thumb to do something, to be very economic about the movements and very ergonomic. And so this is horrible from that point. So this is one of the things that many people underestimate. It's much more complex to build a good user interface in a tree with 3 dimensions. And then there's another challenge you face, that's different hardware. So you want to have, for example, you want to have more AR mixed reality. Then you have, for example, a HoloLens where you have the real world and you have the 3D objects. Then you have other things like immersive devices, like, for example, the MetaQuest or Windows mixed reality, virtual reality devices. Different platforms. One is Android, one is Windows based. So you also have to face that challenge with many different devices and many different driver and a very fast growing hardware. There are a lot of iterations every new year. There are completely new stuff. So there are some things that you have to face. But the good news is there is a solution for all of your problems. And that's the mixed reality toolkit. In short, MRTK, because this takes many of that burden that you have, gives you a guide how to build that apps and make it really, really simple. Before we dig a little bit deeper, because as it's not a special gamer conference or something, I may give you a glimpse in what you need for it.
Maybe Christian, before jumping into the Unity demo, let me just in 1 or 2 sentences emphasize a little bit what is the mixed reality toolkit basically. So yeah, MRTK, as we heard, it's a toolkit basically. So that allows us to develop immersive experiences within the mixed reality spectrum. So if that's an AR experience for mobile AR, a VR experience like for devices like the MetaQuest, or for mixed reality experiences for for the HoloLens or for the recent released Quest Pro. You can imagine that MRTK is something like a toolbox. It contains predefined scripts that allows you to basically that you can take these from this toolbox and integrate this in your various projects. So you can make objects manipulatable. You can use shaders and materials to make your app look good and performant. And there is also really cool predefined UX components where you can make your app look good. So on that, we will have a look on it in a bit after the demo. And now let's jump into the demo because
thanks for explaining that. So for the people who are maybe web developers, imagine the MRTK. Nobody developed JavaScript with just plain JavaScript. These days you use React or Angular. Imagine MRTK is something like the React for mixed reality. So, but many people are quite new, and I see really it's something we even forget sometimes. It's not a standalone tool, MRTK. It's a framework, a plug-in for the game engine, Unity. I see just Unity is firing up here. And you need, as a foundation to develop that, you need Unity. And what is good about Unity, you also have a free version of it. So everybody can start with Unity for free. I think you have to have a revenue over, I'm not sure, 100,000, where you have actually start paying for it. So it's kind of free for you when you want to get started. And when you're coming from .NET, it's quite easy. But let's have a look here. Let's say, it looks all, when I started with that stuff, it looks, I don't know, like rocket science, building something in 3D, and you must maybe use a lot of mathematics, but it's actually, it's not so hard. Zaid also started with a personal project from him, just from out of nothing, and he even wasn't a developer before. He actually learned programming, I think, with Unity.
In Unity, exactly. So there's this niche that a lot of people think, okay, do I need to have this expertise, long life expertise to get into mixed reality? So no. So personally, I am in the mixed reality space since 4 years now already, and I am already able to build my own projects in mixed reality and program them with Unity and .NET. So really using frameworks like MRTK enables you to get started easily. Developing your next mixed reality application out of the box, more or less.
So yeah, here, for example, maybe it was a little fast because also Zaid was there talking. You can just bring in here a 3D object like I did just here, cube, sphere, whatever, or you can load a 3D model that you maybe get from a 3D artist, and then you have that 3D model in. You have it here in the Explorer, and it has coordinates. You see it as X, Y, Z. And now it's exactly over our camera. The camera is of kind what you're viewing. That's like your eyes, your head. I just put it, I don't know, 8 meters before the camera. There's the camera, there's the 3D object. Let's turn it a little bit. That looks always a little bit cooler. Maybe turn it like this. And let's see already, when I now go into the play mode, yeah, Unity always have a little loading time for everything. Come on. So now we see we have that object. We just here can not do anything. And now let's try to let it turn first, something very simple that you also see the coding. And what you can do, it's a behavior-based thing. So you have an object and you want to give it a behavior. And I have prepared here a demo behavior. I just put it on top of it. Now this behavior is attached to that cube. And let's have a watch. Let's watch what should happen when I use that. So don't get confused here. I have here as a standard editor. I really love as an editor, I really love JetBrains, .NET Rider, but it works exactly the same way in a Visual Studio. So it depends what you have as a standard editor. And what you see here, we have a class that inherits from mono behavior. That's what you have to do. Then you have an event. You do not have to understand here everything. You have an event like start. That happens when the object first gets spawned, when it gets available in the scene. And then very, very important, you have an update. This will fire, let's simplify it a little bit. Let's say it gets called on every frame. It's actually not true because the frame rate can depend, but imagine it's a loop that always repeats. And now I do something in this loop. I say I want to change the axis, the rotation axis, and I use the delta time. That's actually the time between the last loop to make it a fluent rotation. And it's just that I programmatically change the transform. And it's all programmed via C#. And now it's very, very simple script here. You can do much more. You can do HTTP calls. You can use everything that I think is currently .NET 4.8 or something like this, what Unity supports. And now let's play it and see what happened. We had in the update loop, which fires, let's call it kind of every frame, and change the rotation. So wait a second. And now you see the cube is rotating. So we can manipulate this 3D objects via scripting, via C#. So it's quite easy for you when you anyway can do C#. And now it's maybe hard, to make all the touch interaction and all that things. But this is coming with the MRTK. There is a lot of predefined components, behaviors. And for example, here that's coming with the MRTK is an object manipulator. And I just put that on top of it. There's plenty of things that you can adjust, how it should react and everything, but we just let it like it is. And I started. And now that's also, by the way, I also put that in when I set up the project. Also the simulation with the hand, that's also coming via the MRTK. And now I can touch that object. I can grab it and I can move it around. And that would work exactly the same way in the Quest or in the HoloLens. I can now touch and interact with objects. And for sure, this would be a lot of programming to do that when you would do that from scratch. And so many of that things just coming out of the box with the MRTK. It's also a lot of UI components and how to build a UI and best practices and things like that. So it's quite easy for C# developer to actually do the jump. And that brings us back to a little more details. What is actually in the box here? And So tell us a little bit more what we have in this very nice toolbox.
Exactly. So currently MRTK is in its third generation. With that, it provides us a lot of foundation and opportunities how we can multiply more with our mixed reality experiences. So remembering in the last couple of years when we wanted to develop experiences within the mixed reality spectrum, we had to go, I think, from this and to that GitHub repo and get together the different packages. So this was something really challenging back in the days. With MRTK3, today it contains one package. It's called one extension. It's called the Mixed Reality Feature Tool. So with that, it maps basically. You download the tool and then it maps the necessary packages after choosing them to your project. So with that, we save a lot of time, a lot of challenges that we can come across. Exactly. It provides also a really cool design language, so an enhanced design language. So when it comes in a bit to newly rethought, revolutionized UX UI design. So you have completely other UX UI designs that you can interact with, and these designs basically invites you to interact with them. We have also performance. Performance allows us the MRTK has optimized shaders and materials that you can integrate and use to enhance your basically have a performant running mixed reality experience on the HoloLens. So with that said, Christian, let's jump into some of the components.
Yeah, and don't forget, one of the coolest things is it's actually cross-platform.
That's it exactly. But I think, are we missing just a second, please?
Sure. I'm just checking with Kasim. We have around 15 minutes time, so that we see.
We still have time.
Because
exactly. And one of the one of the biggest highlights basically of MRTK3 is empowering cross-platforms. So it's Fusion's three core components. So Unity Interaction Toolkit, the OpenXR standard, and Unity Input System as a foundation in MRTK3. With that said, MRTK3 allows us then to build our Unity XR projects to various AR, VR mixed reality devices. So again, thinking about this challenge back in the days, we had always to go, and if you want to develop like for the Quest or for mobile AR, we had always to download dedicated SDKs to get our projects running on the individual devices. And this was a very big pain because you get a lot of challenges, a lot of bugs throughout your development journey. Here again, with MRTK3, we are going cross-platform. You can deploy the same project using MRTK3 to various devices.
Yeah, remember all the times when when the JavaScript engine was not perfect, and there were the Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, and everything, and every browser platform it worked different. And now we have this OpenXR standard, and Microsoft built on top of that, and so it do the abstraction for you, and you do not have to develop for the different platforms.
Exactly. So with that said, here we have also some examples on the components we have in MRTK. So this is the interaction tool, the object manipulator, basically allows you. So as you saw that Christian just added before onto this cube a script. In this case, you just add the object manipulator, and you will just be able to interact with your object. You can rotate it, scale it, and view it from different perspectives. The next component is bounding control. So you can see here the user is basically able also to again interact with the object, and the bounding control, we're coming in a bit to the pressable buttons. The bounding controls basically define the dimensions of an object. So you exactly in this case, when you come to want to start interacting with it, also it defines or invites you as well to to come and interact with it, scale it, and manipulate it. And here we see also a hand menu. Also another way how we can interact with 3D objects. So, or create events and actions. Basically here, it reminds me like an Iron Man movie. Basically having everything, you as a user can manipulate all of these immersive experiences. And now, last but not least, spatial awareness. So spatial awareness allows us to integrate the 3D objects into our 3D experiences. And now we see here the MRTK3 shaders, or MRTK shaders, basically, that allows you to have different perspectives on the 3D objects here, like an X-ray shader, where you can, in this case, move it closer to an object, view the different components of it, and exactly. So here it's very helpful, for example, when it comes to 3D engines, for example, to a mechanical engine, for example, a car engine, and then you want to go inside of it, you take the shader and then have a look on it, how it looks from the inside.
Yeah, people love that. That looks so cool.
Exactly. And here we are talking about now of a completely new redesigned UX UI design language. One of my highlights here in this picture is basically what's here is in the center. Basically, you see, so there's something like a 3D model, or this person that is interacting with an object somehow, but this is in reality not a 3D object, but it's based on a shader that gives you like a depth into this window, So in this case, imagine yourself, you are wearing the HoloLens, and then you start looking to the right and to the left and moving here and there, and then you really feel this immersive UX UI experience. And we can see also a lot of maybe inspired design language from Windows 11. This rounded corners, I really love these this style, basically.
Yeah, and it's also when you saw maybe mesh things and demos, it's also the design language of mesh.
Yeah.
Now we come to the demo parts. I'm not sure, Kasim, how much time have we left? Few minutes, I guess. We can write it here. Meanwhile, because it's a little hard to show it on the HoloLens, Zaid we have here a recording from the GITEX demo. And now you see the MRTK in action on the HoloLens. But
exactly.
Maybe you tell something.
And here, so we can start running the video, Christian. So here we are running the interaction toolkit of the HoloLens. First of all, just scanning the environment a little bit, scanning it to get the 3D objects manipulated, getting the audience into the metaverse. And now, opening the app. And then we have the interaction scene of the HoloLens of MRTK3, and the same. You see here that simultaneously you can interact with the objects, try different interaction possibilities here, like a piano. And the really cool thing, or the cool part here, is the same demo would run on the Oculus. So without any challenges, without a lot of changes, beside targeting the platform, the same demo would run on the Oculus. So let's have a look on the Oculus demo, Christian.
So let me try it a second on the Quest here live. So let me see. I fire everything up here. It's a little hard with this headset. Let me see.
And here, giving a really cool guy a cup of coffee.
Yeah, so I think it's not enough time for the coffee, but let me see. I hope get a picture now. Ah, yeah, here we go. Wait a second. So I put that now here in the so now you see the same scene that you saw before from side. You see exactly the same thing here, but this time you see the background is black. In inside them what was the reality, but for sure you can build here your virtual world, outer space, buildings, whatever you have in your mind. So it's cross-platform, and so we can also play here. We can interact and grab things like you also saw in the demo of a site, but this time I used the controllers here, as you see. And yeah, you have exactly the same options like controlling things, drawing things, scaling. It's all that stuff that we saw also in Zaid's demo. And yeah, this is really pretty easy. Actually, you load a 3D model inside, you put that manipulator on it, and things just start working. Yeah, pretty cool, the MRTK. It takes a lot of the problems that you would have to face. So it looks like magic, it looks like rocket science, but actually it's not so hard to get started.
Exactly.
So you would say something why I try to get rid of that thing.
Exactly. So with that, we are almost reaching an end to our conversation with you guys. To us, the mixed reality community is a family. You know, it's something like a community that is playful and fun, and we always wrap up our events, which usually when it's an on-site event or something, we do group pictures. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. I don't know, can we try taking a group selfie with our incredible audience, Kazim?
Side, yeah, the group picture at that side.
Maybe you take a selfie, Kazim, with us in the background. This is possible.
It should be possible. It should be possible.
Wait, then I stop maybe the sharing. Then.
Yeah, that's true. You can carry your come around
and then you can turn on.
Are you connected with this one?
No.
This one.
And then get together the community on your end, Kazim, please.
Yeah, I wish we could be in Lagos. I heard it's one of the most crazy cities in the world. So I think there will be also good parties.
Hello. Hey, just before you leave, this mixed reality, in what field is it used now? Huh? Yeah. So what's the field? Yeah. What's the field that is in use now? What's the expect? I know it has endless expectations, right? But what is being used for now?
Did you get the question?
Is it what's the skill set or what is the
currently where is this being in use? So like all these things
where it's being used.
Yeah, yes. For you,
that's the correct.
Can we get some?
It's so the HoloLens is basically an enterprise industrial device. So it's most likely applied in areas like healthcare, field service, remote assistance. You know, so imagine yourself having a factory in Lagos. You are an engineer in here, and I am another engineer in Berlin, in Germany. And then I don't want to send my engineers from Berlin to Lagos. So in this case, you put the HoloLens in Lagos, and then you see a 3D digital twin of your factory or of the machine that is in the factory that's damaged. And then you, with the support of my instructions holographically, I can support you then engaging or creating efficient, faster solutions.
Yeah, so one important thing to see here is see that more as a foundation technology like internet or mobile computing or something like this. So it will affect any kind of business. It's most obvious the cases that Zaid said, and these are the first cases that people start to use, but it's actually a foundation technology, and it will have influence on all the levels. Maybe it's also not that obvious that banking and finance and insurance are super interested in that technology. They are super interested in it because it's a new way how people can interact. It's not just 2D. It's really a real feeling, and you can have more emotional experiences, and that's why they also use it for collaboration scenarios. So see it as a foundation technology, and imagine everything you see now. Everything will get a new channel. It's not just mobile website anymore. It will be in the future. It will be also mixed reality, and so every kind of business will get influenced by that kind of technology. But as a start is most obvious with things like industrial stuff.
All right, thank you very much, Christian. There's one more question there's one more question for you before we wrap up. Yes, so you can go on.
Okay, so Christian, my question is, can someone import from another platform, like say someone does creates his avatar or his world in maybe 3D Max? Can it be brought into mixed reality?
Yes, that you have to export it currently in the game engine or Unity, the favorite format of FBX, and for sure 3D Max exports that format, and then you import it into Unity. That's the completely normal flow. Our artists use, for example, Blender. Some prefer 3D Max, so it's a choice what tool you like. But actually, they export it as FBX, and then they bring it in Unity. And you do a lot of the lighting, and in Unity also have part of a design part. You have to have the lighting, the shaders, but the modeling always happened before in a 3D model. And that's exactly how you build that. When you want to build virtual worlds or assets, it's exactly the way to go.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm asking that is Unity doesn't have an offline application, because the whole idea is to manage with the data structure of Nigeria. So you have to, so does Unity have an offline application, or is just strictly online? Because I know
you can have that. You can have offline applications, import in that Unity, and it will be part of that build. So you can stream content, but you can also load dynamic 3D objects. But usually most of the people build it rather that the 3D objects are part of the build for performance reasons. So you can build offline and you can build online. It's exactly like every other mobile application.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Christian. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some networking tomorrow, and I would have the opportunity to use those lenses tomorrow. So we'll have some fun with the lenses tomorrow. The lenses are already here, so
yeah, the people should try it, and some things you just have to try. It's hard to explain in a 2D. It's a little bit when you didn't try it. Imagine you try to somebody who's blind to explain how colors look like. And this is a little bit like this. You have to try this technology to feel the impact that it will have to our future. Okay, guys, then it was a pleasure to join you. Hopefully we will be next time on site.
Yeah, we're hoping to have you here live, but
yeah, the mixed reality community likes also to party a lot in reality. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All the best, and send us the picture, Kazim. We want to post this.
Definitely.
Yes, I will. Okay.
Cheers.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.